Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what are the top t-shirt designing mistakes that people make when it comes to print on demand. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've been a print on demand t-shirt seller for just about 10 years now. So I've been creating t-shirt designs for longer than I can remember. Over my journey of doing print on demand, I see print on demand sellers making huge mistakes when it comes to the actual t-shirt designing. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the top 10 mistakes, and I'm even going to put you on screen recording and show you examples of these mistakes so you know what not to do. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So the very first mistake that I see print on demand sellers make when it comes to creating t-shirt designs is copying best sellers. Now, to give you a real example of this is a bestseller design in the fishing niche. This shirt has sold over 100 times in the past month, but when you look on Amazon and you continue to search, you will find other people copying almost exactly that design. Now, as many times as I can tell you in print on demand, don't copy other people's designs, come up with your own original things. It is only really going to apply and it's only really going to affect you as a seller if you are copying a best seller. Now, the reason that I say this is because someone who has a best-selling design, like this one, for example, they are making a lot of money from that specific design. So they are tracking that design. They're seeing who is infringing on it, who's coming too close, who they want to get off the marketplace so that they continue to make their money. So if you take anything away from this point, it is don't poke the bear. Once you find the big sellers, do not try to copy them because you think you're going to make money. Just know that they are paying attention and they will get your designs shut down. So with that being said, let's get straight into the second mistake that I see people making, and that is not looking in other niches for inspiration. So to give you a perfect example of this is a design right here. It says, "I love my wife," but when you look closer, it says, "I love it when my wife lets me go fishing." This is a perfect template that you can apply to hundreds of other niches. Now, to show you what I mean, let's go look in the golfing niche. "I love it when my wife lets me go golfing." Think about how many other niches you could apply this to. Now, this is just one example to drive this point home, but quickly I found another one for you. "I hate golf, I hate golf, I hate golf. Nice shot. I love golf." Think about how many other sports or hobbies this could apply to. Now, the third mistake that I see people making when they're creating t-shirt designs for print on demand typically comes from new sellers. And what that is not properly removing the background. Now, to show you exactly what I mean by this is kind of my process for creating t-shirt designs right here, but this has a background color in it. So if I were to download this as is, this is what that design would look like. And as you can see, it has the full color in the background. So if that were to get printed on a t-shirt, it would show this entire rectangle on that print. Now, if you've already downloaded your design, you can kind of remove the background here. So if I go to do this and I try to remove this and I delete it, you're going to see that on some areas of this, you're still going to get a little bit left over. So you have this little bit of white here, or kind of that background color. Once that gets printed on a shirt, particularly a darker color shirt, you are going to see all of those white areas pop out. So my really big point for you here is that when you are creating your designs, make sure that you are using a design tool that allows you to remove the background color altogether. So you click this little checkerboard, the whole background is removed. Now, when you download that, you can see that you have a clean cut background. So you're not going to have any color or anything left over from that background. In order to stay on topic in this video, if you want to learn the whole designing process for print on demand, I will put a link to a video down in the description below. Okay, just like that, let's get into the fourth mistake that I see print on demand sellers making, and that is that they are offering the same color design printed on the same color shirt. Now, to show you what this looks like with a real example, this is a dark green design here. And if we go down here and we were to show what it would look like if it were printed on a dark green shirt, you can see as soon as you start to look at this preview, you can barely see that design printed on that color shirt. So what I recommend doing is just unchecking anything that looks like it's going to be too hard to see that design printed on. Now, if you are selling print on demand on the big passive print on demand websites, all of the customer returns or customer issues are going to be handled by the print on demand website. It's not actually going to be a job for you to do. However, this is just something you'll learn from experience in print on demand so that your customers don't get something that they're unhappy with or they weren't expecting. Now, most commonly, this will happen with white designs on white shirts or black designs on black shirts. However, I wanted to show you with this example of dark green that it does apply to every other color out there. So just pay attention to this, go through this. It only takes a couple extra seconds, and you can uncheck anything that is too close in color, so that's not offered in your listing. Now, the fifth mistake that I see people make is purchasing a whole bundle of pre-made designs and thinking that they can just upload them to print on demand websites. Now, to show you what this looks like, if you go pretty much anywhere on Google or anywhere any of the big marketplaces, you can search for pre-made shirt designs, and you're going to find sellers who offer big bundles of pre-made shirt designs. Now, in the descriptions and everything on these bundles, it will say, yes, these are commercially usable, they're copyright, they're trademark free, and whether or not that is entirely free all the time, that's up to the seller, who knows how ethical they all are. However, the big point that I want to drive home here is that other people can absolutely purchase this same bundle, and they could have uploaded them to the big print-on-demand websites before you. This means that you are going in thinking that you have rights to use it, but hundreds of other people could also have rights to use it, and you're basically just setting yourself up to have your listing removed as a duplicate. On some websites, this is not going to hurt you very bad. On other websites, if you do this too often, your entire print-on-demand account will get shut down. So the takeaway on this point is make sure that when you are creating your designs for print-on-demand, make sure that you are always customizing them and making them originally yours. All right, the sixth mistake when it comes to designing t-shirts for print-on-demand is creating designs with no avatar in mind. Now, when I say avatar, I'm talking about a specific buyer, someone that you've come up with in your mind of who this design is created for. So to show you some good examples of this, here is the first one. This is Real Cool Grandpa. So real in this shirt is spelled like a fishing reel. So this is a fishing shirt made for a grandpa who likes to fish. This is a perfect example of a shirt that is made with an avatar in mind. Now, to show you another example of this is one in the golfing niche. So My Retirement Plan. This is a golfing shirt made for someone who is about to retire or recently retired. That is a perfect example of finding a sub niche within an overall niche. Now, by the way, I'll make another quick point here to say that that video that I've linked in the description for designing also includes how to find these sub niches within the overall niches. So if you're having a hard time coming up with these ideas, that video will show you how to do it. All right, and just like that, we are on the seventh mistake. And what that is not creating designs that are intended to be purchased as gifts. Now, I can actually use this exact same example that we just had before, My Retirement Plan for golfing. Think about who would be purchasing that shirt. That could be a son purchasing that shirt for their father. That could be a daughter purchasing that shirt for their father. This specific shirt has over 2,000 ratings, so you know that this shirt is getting purchased a lot. And I can tell you just from my experience here, the people who are buying this shirt are most likely buying it as a gift for someone else. So as you are creating your designs, always look at them at a different angle of not just a shirt that someone would buy for themselves, but more than likely a shirt that they're going to buy for someone else. Now, the eighth mistake that people run into when creating their t-shirt designs is they're not saving them in at least 72 dots per inch. Now, to show you what that looks like, this design that we've saved off of Placeit, when you zoom in here, you can see that it's not blurry at all. It's actually very clear. So when that's printed on a t-shirt, it actually prints pretty large. You're not going to have any print issues with it being blurry. Now, this design is saved at 72 dots per inch or pixels per inch. If you were to drop that down to 25, for example, and that were to be saved, when you zoom in here, you can see it kind of looks pixelated on the edges of the design. This is where you're going to start to run into print quality issues on your designs. Now, if you're using something like Placeit to create your designs, you won't have an issue with this, but a lot of the free design apps, they're going to download in low resolution, and that's where you're going to have to look out for this issue. All right, moving on to the ninth mistake that I see people make. This might be the most common mistake in print on demand, especially for new sellers. And what this is uploading your design on your listing too small or as a belly print. So to show you what this looks like, this is a perfect example here of how the design fills the entire print area. If it were too small, something like this, and if it were down here or it were centered, it's going to print as a belly print. This is going to deter a lot of people who are looking at your listing because right off the bat, they're going to see that the design doesn't look like it's in the right place on the shirt. The buyer can't do anything about this, so this is up to us when we are creating the listing. So if you have a small design, just put it to the top so it's going to be a chest print, not a belly print. And ultimately, you really do want this to fill, so I'm going to put it to 100% scale right here, and you want it to fill the entire box. Now on TeePublic, it's actually very easy. You just click to center and then align to top, and it's going to fill it how it should be filled. But just make sure that you are spending a second to pay attention to this when you're uploading your designs so that your designs look right. So this brings us into the 10th mistake that you can make when creating t-shirt designs for print on demand. And hands down, this is going to be the biggest mistake you can make in print on demand, and it comes with the biggest consequences. So what this is infringing on copyrights and trademarks. As we talked about in the beginning of this video, you don't want to copy other people's designs. But something that you absolutely cannot do in print on demand is use things that other people own the rights to. Now, in the vast majority of cases, this is going to come down to the actual slogan that is on the design, so the text that is on your design. You want to make sure that you are checking this to make sure that it is not trademarked. That video that I mentioned down in the description will walk you through exactly how to do this, but something that's so important to know is that it doesn't just end at the slogans. People and businesses can own the rights to fonts and graphics as well. So to show you what this looks looks like on the computer, this is Canva, and I actually have a premium subscription to Canva, as well as the other design tool I was talking about before. And although these are great designs for print on demand, Canva is not 100% copyright free. That means that there could be graphics, there could be different fonts in these templates that you don't know about that are owned by other people. So you might create an amazing t-shirt design on here, but once you upload that and start selling it on a print on demand website, you may come to find out that someone else owns something in that design. This is a whole avenue that you don't want to go down in print on demand, so that's why I recommend paying attention to copyright and trademark infringements. So once you know how to check these slogans to make sure that they are not trademarked, then it comes down to your design tool. This tool that I've showed you before, Placeit, the reason that I use it is that 100% of everything on their platform is copyright free. So if you guys have any specific questions or anything that wasn't covered in this video, just let me know down in the comments. And then that video that I've linked down in the description is really going to help you out. It's a full print on demand tutorial that walks you through everything step by step. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please just give it a thumbs up. That's all I ask. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video.